guys for joining us today on our webinar series with University of Toledo. We have Jamila and Victor Finch today. They have traveled all the way from Ohio to Mumbai, and they are in our office in Study Metro's Mumbai office. So we want to really welcome them that they have taken out the time on Sunday to talk to our students and our staff. So we really appreciate both of you and your time. And as far as the University of Toledo is concerned, Jamila is the presenter who's going to talk about University of Toledo and its program. But as far as I met, with Victor in December in ICF conference, we had a wonderful chat, and that's a new partnership where we want to take it ahead. And we are really looking forward for sending their good students. So even all the counselors, when you come across any question, please feel free to write us. And we're going to have this session finish. And as soon as we finish with the session, we're going to have the question and the answer round. So Jamila is a presenter, and I want Jamila to go ahead and start the webinar.
Sure. So hi, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar about the University of Toledo. During the next couple of minutes, we're going to be doing a little overview of the University of Toledo. We're going to talk about some of the academic programs that we are known for. We're going to talk to you about a unique selling point of our university, scholarships that we have to offer, our campus life, where we're located, and a little bit about the admissions process. So the University of Toledo is a public research university. We have a total population of about 21,000 students. Around 2,000 of them are international, and around 300 come from India. We have about 130,000 worldwide alumni. We have around 140 undergraduate majors, and we offer excellent programs with great support services. Our top programs are in business, engineering, the health sciences, natural sciences, and pharmacy. We also have a law school and a medical school on our campus. And so if you can see on the screen, there's an overview of our main campus. We also have a medical campus that's not pictured here, but it's about 15 minutes from the main campus. So something that's different about the University of Toledo is that we are known for experiential learning. So what that means is we're known for learning by doing, or making sure that you have the experiences that are going to make you a great marketable person for getting a job after you graduate. We are known for our research in the fields that you can see listed on the screen. So we have a lot of students who do advanced materials, biotechnology, green chemistry, sustainability, and that's just for undergraduate research. But our students in business and in engineering do a lot of internships or co-op experiences. The University of Toledo is one of 8 universities in the United States that requires our engineering students to have 3 paid semesters of co-op. So you get paid around 10 to 15,000 USD during your co-op experience that can be helped, or that you can be using to help pay for your school for the following semester. If you are an undergraduate student, we have a great scholarship opportunity for you. If you have a minimum 3.0 GPA, and what we do is we will convert your grades from India to the US scale, and if you have a 3.0 GPA, we automatically award you our International Student Scholarship. Now this scholarship covers about 50% of tuition, so the out-of-state surcharge is removed, and you're paying about $10,000 per year, which is a really good price for an education. We automatically consider you for the scholarship, so you don't have to fill out any separate applications. It's very easy. You'll find out at the time of admission if you're going to have the scholarship, and it's renewable each year, so you don't have to reapply for it each semester. As long as you maintain the required GPA, we'll put that on your account. Now our campus is unique. We have a lot of international students, as I had mentioned earlier. We have around 2,000 representing 101 countries. Our campus is pretty big, 280 student organizations, so there's something for everyone to get involved in. If you look at the photos, we have some pictures of our library, our recreation center, just some of the places that students like to go during their free time. Our students do live on campus during their first and second years, but it's to help you get engaged with the American culture and meet other students, so you have a really well-rounded experience during your first and second year as a student in Toledo. And that's about it. Does anyone have any questions?
I think you can go ahead and we can take the questions in the end of the webinar.
Sure. So I'm done with my part of the presentation.
Okay, so students and the counselors, if you have any questions, please let us know so that we can ask to the delegates. So
Jamila,
I
can you
have a
talk
couple of
about what courses you offer and then what's the eligibility requirement? So that students and even the counselors have better idea about what programs are available, which is actually available on website as well. But if you can talk about it, and then at least the admission requirement and the fee structure and the deadlines for fall intake.
Sure. So we have programs in, like I mentioned, business, engineering, natural sciences, which is like biology, chemistry, biochemistry. We have health sciences, so occupational therapy, recreational therapy. We also have pharmacy. And then we have the humanities, so we have music programs, art programs. Most of our programs at the University of Toledo require a 3.0 GPA or 2.75 for some of them. We do list the exact requirement on our website. They do vary per academic college. So if you're applying, we recommend that you visit that. Our programs do not require SAT or ACT unless you're applying to engineering. So if you're applying to business, you do not need an ACT or SAT. You will not need it for scholarship. You won't need it for anything. The only program that will require it is engineering programs. We also have an alternative test too, so if a student does not want to take the SAT or ACT, we still have an option for you to place into our math and be able to start in our engineering programs. For academic requirements, we do look at your transcripts and your certificates. It really would depend on what kind of curriculum you have completed in India. Generally, if you did the SSC and the HSC, we would require those certificates. And then if you did any other type of program like an IB, we would also need the certificates from that. Our fall deadlines would be, we accept applications for fall up until June 1st. We don't recommend that you wait that long to complete an application because you're going to have to do other things like apply for your student visa, make travel preparations. So it's really important that if you start earlier, you're going to be a better prepared person. You'll have more opportunities to clarify any questions that you have about your admission and stuff like that. So June 1st is the latest that you can apply. However, we are accepting applications. We're on a rolling deadline, so we do review applications all year long, and the admission decision is usually made within 1 to 2 weeks, so fairly quickly for you. The fee structure is also listed on our website. For tuition and fees, you're looking to pay about $20,000 per year, but if you have that scholarship, it's going to cover the out-of-state surcharge, which is roughly 9,700 USD. So you're looking to pay for 1 year of school about $10,000 for tuition. Now, like I said, if you are a new student, you are required to live on campus during your first and second years. We list on our website living expenses at around $14,000 because that includes everything like meals, additional costs like books, clothing, anything you might buy. So the total with the scholarship per year is probably going to be around 25,000 USD. Does that cover your question?
Yes, definitely. Any questions from the audience? If you have, please write that down. What are the working opportunities for students, gaining the internship or practical experience other than the class?
Sure. So we're actually known for our experiential learning opportunities or opportunities to do or get experience outside of the classroom. So we have for our business programs, most students do one internship before they graduate. For engineering, as I had mentioned, it's a mandatory 3 paid semesters of co-op before you can even graduate. All of the academic colleges support the students. They'll hold job fairs on campus, and you'll be able to interview with prospective employers. So we give our students a lot of opportunities to at least get one semester of internship experience before they graduate. And then, of course, I do want to mention that while you're a student at the university, you are able to have an on-campus job, and that's also in itself experiences that you can have. Students can work up to 20 hours a week, and you are paid for that as well. So that's another way that you can gain a unique experience during your time at the university.
Okay, I have a couple of
Okay.
questions for you. Is that what are the intakes are available for the undergraduate students? Like the next intake is only fall, or we do have in the summer also?
So we do 3 times a year we take students. So we have summer, which is in May. The deadline for summer would be March 1st. Students, we get a little amount of students for that semester. Generally, most of our international students come during fall, which would start in August. And then we also have spring intake, which begins in January.
Okay. So I have many students who want to do the programs in the summer intake. So definitely I'll forward the documents to you and Victor. My
Sure.
question is that we have to fill the online applications, or you're going to provide us the application form.
So Study Metro actually has the application form. We have it in a PDF too, so if a student requests it, we're more than happy to send them that application. But we do have an online application. Both applications won't require an application fee. That's charged once you enroll at the university. So.
Okay. What you also I seen in the website that you also have the graduate programs. So could you also let us know the eligibility criteria if we have any graduate students?
So graduate students, it's a little bit of a unique situation. My office only works with undergraduate students. For graduate students, admission decisions are usually made by the department. So the eligibility requirements vary per program, but they are on our website listed. They will let you know what exactly is required. A lot of the graduate programs have an entry exam, so if you're looking to do an MBA, you're probably going to have to take the GMAT. If you're planning to do law school, you'll have to take the LSAT. So it just really depends per program.
So we changed. I want to add one thing on our deadlines. We are in the process of rewriting a lot of these deadlines. So for fall 17, for instance, we will not have technically an application deadline. However, it's safe to say we're dealing with undergraduate students. Realistically, everything should be in by July 1st in order to get through the visa process to make sure everything is in. But we changed that. We were May, then we're thinking about June. So really, we're not even going to have an application deadline. We're going to leave it up to really your I'm going to say common sense and understanding of the application and the visa process.
So I can add that if you have done already your SAT and your ACT, or you've taken entry exams and you have your transcripts, the process will probably be a lot quicker for you. And then the deadline is a little bit more flexible. If you haven't done those exams, that's where it becomes a little bit more difficult.
Correct. Our goal really is going to be once we have completed applications, our goal really is to have this turned around within 2 weeks is going to be our goal. Obviously, we've got some hurdles to achieve that deadline, but that is my boss, the vice president, that is her goal as well, is that we have everything turned around within 2 weeks. Obviously, that's for admission purposes. Once we get the financials, of course, we can't move forward with the I-20 until that's completed.
Right.
But we want to make sure that we get that I-20 back to the students, get it into your hands as quickly as possible. The visa process, you guys are familiar with it. You can check the deadlines online now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see how long it's going to take. But generally speaking, in the Mumbai area, 3 days to get your visa appointment.
Yeah.
1 week after that, as you get closer to August, that gets extended a little bit. But I don't think I saw it beyond 7 days for Mumbai this year.
Yeah.
It stayed within a week. So the U.S. Department of State's doing a good job of getting that done. So that gives us more flexibility on that as application deadlines. The spring application deadline is a little bit trickier because of all the U.S. holidays. So we're probably going to try to be firm on new students to be around that November 1st deadline, because with our Thanksgiving and then, of course, Christmas, to get the visa appointments is going to be very difficult to do.
Okay. I have one more question also, Victor, that do you have the ESL in-house, for those students who does not write IELTS and TOEFL exams if they want to apply? So do you also offer them an ESL in-house?
Yeah, well, we do have our own language program. We have made a lot of changes to our English requirements in the short time that I've been at the university. That we do accept PTE, IELTS, and TOEFL. I will say we're in the process of rewriting those scores. Currently it's 61 for TOEFL. I really do see it as being 71 in the very near future. The IELTS at 6.0 is probably not going to change. The PTE has become an extremely popular test, especially with the graduate students. So that's going to be, that's acceptable. Anybody who has completed an IB curriculum will be granted, English proficiency already.
You can also use ACT and SAT scores as well. So if you've done the SAT, we'll look at the critical reading and writing section to waive the language proficiency as well.
Okay.
But to answer your question, we do have a language program.
Okay, so you mean to say that if the student does not write the exams, still they are acceptable and they're going to get the conditional letter for the undergraduate department?
Well, I can't say yes, I can't say no. Because, again, our pathway program, i.e. conditional admission, is currently being written right now. We hope to have a decision within 2 weeks. I do foresee a pathway program moving forward. Keep in mind, with the new immigration requirements, everybody's changing the pathways right now. But we are in the process of developing our pathway or bridge program or conditional admission, however you want to say it, right now. So hopefully our next webinar, I'll have good news that has been approved by the provost. But so far, everybody's on board to develop that. Just everybody's nervous with the immigration requirements.
Okay, I have one student who is from Ghana, and Ghana comes under the English-speaking country, and the students already have a set, but he does not have IELTS and TOEFL. So do you think that we can get his direct admission in the undergraduate department?
So he has taken the SAT?
Yep.
Okay, and where is he from?
Ghana.
Well, Ghana
we already waive your language proficiency if you're from Ghana.
Okay. Okay.
So you will not be required to submit. And we have on our website, on the English language proficiency page, a list of countries where we actually will waive the TOEFL. So if you come from an English-speaking country, we will waive that.
Okay. And do you also require any kind of credential evaluation, or you do the in-house whenever we send a documents to you?
We do right now in-house credential evaluations. If a student, we'll welcome you if you have done an evaluation from a company like Wes. We will accept it. Maybe we'll use it if we need to. But generally, we have someone who's in-house doing the credential evaluating.
So is this the same for the graduate department also?
Graduate department.
Well,
That really varies by department and who's doing the evaluation. So I can't give you a definite answer at this time.
I guess the easiest way for me to put it with the graduate information is that we're currently revisiting or visiting, is probably a better word, the application procedure for the graduate school. There is a possibility that my office will be doing that as well. But really for right now, we can work on an individual basis for graduate students, but I'm really trying to get the graduate school to really give us some new guidelines. They have a new dean who just started there as well. So there'll be some changes, but currently each individual department does their own evaluation. And they have a different English proficiency standard of 80 on the TOEFL. Currently they won't accept PTE or IELTS. However, that will all change relatively soon.
Okay.
And most of the graduate programs will require either GRE or GMAT.
Okay. Okay. And do you have any differentiate between the healthcare program or engineering program, or the requirement will be the same for the all programs, whatever the undergraduate program be offered by the university?
Special requirement as per the different fields of
So,
interest.
yeah.
Sorry,
So the requirements are different from department to department, like for
Undergraduate.
undergraduate, yeah.
Undergraduates.
For
Yeah.
undergraduate, yes. So for academic requirements, if you're in engineering, you'll be required to have a 3.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale. And then if you're looking at a program in business, the GPA requirement is a 2.8. So it varies by program.
I think it's safe to say that in dealing with undergraduate students from India, a vast majority will already be over a 3.0.
Right.
And students who are under a 3.0, I think I'm confident in saying that it'll be very difficult to attend without that academic scholarship, because that will take just the tuition alone will be $20,000 a year.
Right.
So I think really you're going to be looking at students who are already achieved 3.0,
3.0,
which is a vast majority of students in India already anyway.
Okay. And I think you also mentioned about the internships opportunity for the undergraduate students. Is this internships, it's paid or it's unpaid? If it is paid, how much they can expect from the employer?
Well, I think, so if we talk about engineering, engineering is the only program that has a mandatory 3-semester co-op. By the way, one of only 8 in the United States. I'll just throw that in there. And yes, that is paid. Most of the time, most students will average roughly 12,000 US per semester that they're working. So they will work, usually, international students will have to be on campus for 2 semesters. Then I'd say it's probably safe to say there'll be 3 semesters on campus. Then they'll do a semester of work. Then they're back to campus, and then back to work, back to campus, back to work. Engineering will be a 4.5-year program because of that mandatory co-op. But on average, international students will earn about $35,000 a year for co-op. The other programs, because it's not mandatory, most of them, I'm going to say probably 50% from what I've heard, are paid internships. Again, the costs will vary, how much money they'll make. Probably safe to say $8,000 to $10,000
Yes.
per semester. The co-op, most of the students outside of the engineering will co-op in the summers. Engineering, you will actually take a semester off and work. But our employers come to campus, so we have our job fairs on campus. We help in the resume building, the interview skills, as well as giving personal guidance on where and who they want to work for, based on what their family's goals are, the students' goals are when they graduate.
What would be the salary that they make? Like initial job is about minimum wages they make, or how it goes?
Minimum do they make minimum wages or during their internship, initial job internship?
No, actually they start out very well. Talk about pay, right?
Yeah.
Most of the engineering students are going to start out around $20 an hour. So very, very well paid.
Double minimum wage.
Yeah.
They'll be well off in that
They
area.
take the PT off the campus, or they do the third semester. Are they going to leave off campus?
All of them will actually be off campus. They'll use CPT to start with. Then when that runs out, because you get 1 year of CPT, but because we're going to actually switch to 15-week semesters, we're going to be fine. They'll use CPT, so they'll still have their OPT when they graduate. But again, most engineering students are hired the day they leave anyway, because of that co-op experience. But they will work off campus. They'll actually work in India, China, any country, any state in the United States they can work. Most of our students will work in the area of the University of Toledo because we're so integrated with manufacturing places. So they stay in the area, but they will work off campus. Most of the engineering co-ops, the companies will supplement housing as well as per diem while they're co-oping, as well as the salary.
Okay, but as per law, that if you cross 365 days under the CPTs, they are not allowed to get the OPTs.
OPTs.
What was that again?
So if on CPT a student
Uh-huh.
crosses beyond 365 days, they are not allowed to do OPT after their graduation, right? After their course, right?
Well, you get, I mean, the OPT laws have changed in the last year now, where it went from 12 months up to 29 months, I believe it is now. Especially in the STEM programs, they've always had an extension. So you get what you get. So if you start OPT, pre-graduate OPT, say you use 6 months of that 6 months comes off your total time you have available for OPT. So our international students in engineering, well, I should say in all the programs, will rarely go into OPT because the 3 semesters is only going to be 45 weeks of OPT, of CPT, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they won't even tap into the OPT requirement.
Okay, but are they going to exceed more than a year working under CPT?
No, they'll only, because it's only 3 semesters.
45.
So they'll use about 45 weeks of CPT.
Okay. Did any new questions for Victor and Jamila?
So that's students.
That's called Sunday effect. Nobody want to ask any question because at Sunday they want to leave. So what do you recommend, like for undergrad students, why they should go? I got 3 students now sitting, so they are also listening to me, so I really know this, that if they want to consider, and if other Indian students want to consider University of Toledo as an undergrad degree, what are the competitive advantages? Like, why do they select UT if we talk?
Well, I think we give students a unique experience at the undergrad level. So you're not only getting a really good education, but we're giving you a lot of experiences that you need So you don't have to go straight after your undergrad into graduate school. We're going to give you work experience. We're going to give you internship experience. We're going to make sure that you're really prepared when you graduate. During your experience, you'll also have a success coach. We'll have someone who's going to guide you throughout your 4 years at the university. So we really give you a lot of support too as an international student on our campus.
Okay. I had this question in mind that apart from the engineering, are this like the business students are also, I mean, are they eligible to do the CPT from the third semester, and could they get a paid or an unpaid internship?
Well, it's not set in stone because they don't. It's not required. It's not a program requirement. CPT, of course, is curricular in nature. It has to be. So there is, at least in say the School of Business, you have probably 3 different semester opportunities where you can work. But usually you're not going to take the entire semester off of academic work. It's going to be in addition to your academic programs. Most of their business students will do their internship in the summers where they're not taking classes. So yes, that is available. Yes, that is paid as well. And because it's CPT, it's actually built into the curriculum, they are actually able to do that off campus.
And the College
But
of
only
Business.
during the summer program, summer time.
Summertime. So is that the
Only during the summertime they could do the
Well, no.
CPT, right?
It's usually preferred that you do it during the summer. As Victor mentioned, you're doing coursework otherwise, so it can be a little bit of a, stressful situation taking 12 to 15 credit hours per semester or 5 classes, and then also having to do an internship. So it's a preference that students do it during the summer, but it's not mandatory. So they can do it during the summer, or excuse me, spring and fall semesters if they wish to.
Okay. Any questions? Any other questions?
Well, I just brought out one of our business programs here just to kind of explain the internship a little bit better. And you guys will all be able to see these individual classes, So the human resource management is what I'm looking at right now. They actually will lay out your sample curriculum for this, and then so each student will be able to see basically which classes they're going to take to graduate. Our goal is for students to graduate in 4 years. We're not a university that wants 6 years or 5.5 years to graduate. We want you out in 4 years. So as you start seeing these different programs, you'll see that realistically summer is going to be an internship opportunity.
Yeah.
Because usually to get out in 4 years, you're taking 15 to 16 credit hours per semester, which is full time. I mean it's a full load of classes. So to add on that internship during the academic year semester, probably not recommended.
Okay.
The last
Thank you
question,
so much.
yeah, the last
Yeah,
question I
you have.
have is that do you also offer some kind of short-term programs where the students can come for the 2 weeks to 6 weeks, either during their summer vacation or any kind of certificates?
No, currently we do not have short-term programs.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Jamila and Victor, one more time for sparing your time with us, and we look forward for a great relationship ahead. And I'm going to call you on Skype so we can talk further.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much for your time.
Have a great Sunday, all of you. Take care.
Thank you very much, Victor and team. Yeah, thanks. Bye-bye.